So this session we're talking about the alterations you're going to do to your master pattern to make the lining for your jacket. Linings generally, obviously they sit inside of the garment, but they're usually bigger than the outside garment. Now, some of the reasons for this are that jackets and coats tend to be made out of fabrics that have a little bit of a give in them, and linings tend to be made out of firmer fabrics that are slippy. And they're slippy so that you can slide clothes on top of them without sticking. But your lining generally needs to be bigger, and it needs to be bigger in lots of different areas. So one of the first things we're going to do, I'm going to put this in the front lining. I'm going to do in a bright yellow. At the shoulder point, I'm going to come out by 1 centimetre at a diagonal. So that's my new point at the shoulder. At the armhole, I'm coming out 1 centimetre at a diagonal. I'm taking a new line from the end of the dart down through here, and I'm going to carry on along that line through the armhole and out. The extra at the side that creates, I'm going to take that right down through to the hem. So it ends up being just slightly less than 1 centimetre that you're putting on all down the side. Now, importantly, your lining is going to end at the net edge of the jacket. So where the turn up for the hem would start, that is where your lining is going to finish. Your lining is then going to come up the side of your facing, right the way to the top. I'm leaving the dart in for a moment, but we're going to do something with that dart. This dart we're going to mark here, but we're not going to sew it as a dart, we're just going to have it as a tuck in the middle. So that's pretty much the alterations done on the front that I would like us to do. Now I'm going to do the alterations on the back in a different colour because it's going to overlap slightly with the front. So at the shoulder we're doing the same. We're coming out at a diagonal 1 centimetre. We're coming out at the armhole a diagonal 1 centimetre. We're joining this up with the back like so. We're coming down the armhole at that same sort of width. We're carrying on, and then we're going to come down the shape of the back pattern piece at that same distance away all the way through to the hem. So that's adding an extra just short of 1 centimetre. On the back, our lining pattern goes up to the edge of the facing. But down the centre back, we're going to extend the pattern by 2 centimetres. Let me get my 2 centimetre line lined up. This is going to form a pleat down the centre back of the jacket that will give you room to move your arms and not pull up the jacket. Okay. And again, this is going to end net with the length of the jacket. So it's all quite simple. When I make the pattern in a moment, we'll do different things with these darts. So again, my dart at the back, I'm just going to have as a pleat. I'll have this little dart as a pleat. This dart, I'm going to move into that front seam, and it's going to occur as a pleat. But let's just talk about what happens with the sleeves. Now, of course, the sleeve is a slightly different kettle of fish because we have it as a pattern, because we've changed it from a one-piece block to a two-piece block. So much as with the main body, the lining is going to end net with the hem turn up. Sorry, I could have found a better way of saying that, I'm sure. Up through the body of it, we don't really alter it much at all, but we are going to, on the head of the sleeve, raise this by 1 centimetre, and we'll go pretty much 1 centimetre all around that top edge. Oops, sorry, you'll do it better than me. So for these to match up, so we're going to do the same here. You're going to add on 1 centimetre up through there. Sorry, that's done not very well at all. You're going to measure it. You're going to be gorgeous when you do it. Those are the alterations, but now I want to get on and make pattern pieces so you can see how I'm going to deal with the darts here and how I'm going to deal with tracing it off when I've got 2 pattern pieces here that overlap.